Today, we're getting under the hood of caregiving with Hemali, a passionate, results-driven leader with over 2 decades of expertise in healthcare, pharmaceutical life sciences, and IT supply chain within one of the top pharmaceutical organizations. What has your caregiving journey been like?
Thank you, Elizabeth, for asking that question. Little did I know, life had a plan for me so profound. It shaped who I am today. I was born as the eldest in my family. 2 years later, my sister came along, a beautiful, healthy baby. But soon after her birth, complications arose. What I've been told in those early days that she battled for her life. She fought hard. And when she finally came out of danger, the doctor gave us the diagnosis of cerebral palsy. Who knew what those words meant in 1980s, right? But as a result of which, we learned that her cognitive abilities were limited. When I was 10, Elizabeth, I should tell you, I became a mom to her, you know. Of course, we had our parents, but we both came along together so much that I kind of became a mom to her, understanding her every actions and kind of giving those reactions to her. We created a new bond, and it's amazing memories that I have from my childhood as a caregiver, you know, and you're not expecting or you're not stepping into a role, but you're embracing this role fully based on the experiences. So that's my journey so far, Elizabeth.
What was it like growing up alongside your sister Hemali, and how did her disability shape the rhythm and culture of your childhood?
That's so true. I never quite felt, and truly, I'm giving you my true feelings. I never quite felt like I had a complete childhood. That's the honesty, right? The moment your life changes, your process shifts. This wasn't the childhood I had accepted that, you know, I was the pseudo caretaker. It wasn't easy for my mom either. Imagine my mom was herself so young when she gave birth to the kid, right? She chose to stay home. The whole world changed for her, caring for the family and also for the special child. I can only imagine how many dreams my mom must have compromised on her own, right? She never dodged her duties. I think she's phenomenal in that way and the bravest. But at the same time, you know, the bravest soldiers also needs some rest. And that's where I came in. I became the backup soldier. There was no formal training. It is just on the job, right? Still, stepping into that role of that extra caregiver gave little bit support to my mom. Over time, she began to lean on me. And I'm grateful for that today when I look back. Maybe it's my faith or it's my wisdom. I accepted that responsibilities with grit. You know, looking back, I feel proud that I have contributed to my family. And as a result of it, my sister actually learned so much, you know, because we wanted to make sure that she is learning in today's world, coping up with her uh, challenging circumstances and comes out of with resistance. I think we created standards for the family. So not only me, but my younger siblings also started following that process. And I'm very proud to say that today my son, who is Gen Z, also steps in when needed, you know. So my childhood, of course, it was not like dreams made for, but it was a process that was made for me where I contributed a lot, then enjoying and playing through the roads, you know. So that's my journey has been.
Many siblings of children with severe disabilities become caregivers to the caregivers. How did you find yourself stepping into that role?
So I'll tell you a story. And I really want this to be highlighted because, like me, there might be many such audiences that can relate to this story. Um, you know, we all go through the society pressures, and as a result of which, there was an urge by the society to enroll my sister uh, into caregiving facility, or you know, you can call a special needs school. And she happened to be, we happened to drop there. The day when we dropped there, Elizabeth, uh, I still remember those blue walls, they took her inside and it kind of like, it shook our heart. There was profound silence in while coming back to our home. She was away from the town. We couldn't see her for months. Uh, and that was really difficult for for our family. Now, my mom, it's very difficult for a mother to drop their kids away at such a younger age. And it creates kind of that mental imbalance, if I could say, and we needed to support each other at that point of time. So being a caregiver to a caregiver is, you become that pseudo support again, as I say, to your mom, to your dad, and you make them feel that it's okay. We'll come out through this. But at times moved on, my sister never settled, and of course she was missing us dearly. She cannot speak, she cannot express. We got so many complaints that she's not able to chime in and settle in, and we moved through different schools. It was a challenging time. However, as a pseudo caregiver, we made sure that we made a decision in her best interest. The family decided, let's bring her back, right? Let's bring her home. She belongs to us. Whatever she learns, she will learn from us. We will contribute. I think that's a significant empowerment to the whole family, because we are everyone, irrespective of the age. My grandmother also stepped in, irrespective of the age. We all made a collective decision for the family, and I feel so grateful about it. Today, of course, it's challenging, and we have kids that are being placed in this hospitals or daycare centers, and I understand that situation, but at times you have to make a decision that's very strong for your family, and you have to be that creative caregiver to your family to say that, yes, I will take the responsibility. So that's how I've been a caregiver to my caregivers.
How did this experience shape your sense of responsibility, maturity, or emotional awareness at a young age?
So environment plays a huge role, Elizabeth, right, on who we become. The things we observe, the emotions we observe, and the situations we all navigate through. So for me, ra- growing up with my sister itself was a unique experience that I did not see it in society. So I learned few things that I narrate to the society. When you are going across these type of situations, you need to have kind of a calm and a balanced mind, right? I like the exploring, I like to explore the whats and the whys of every situations. So instead of being more reactive, I kind of navigated through a predictive way of certain scenarios. This approach, learning, understanding a person deeply, truly has become a defining part of my personality of who I am today, ever since. So I would say, I mean, to answer your question, Elizabeth, I would say that I have a very strong instinct to dwell into a particular situations when the challenges arise. Oh, pretty young. As I say, I think by 10, I was in the role of like a mom, understanding the human behavior, I would say.
Were there moments when you felt you had to protect, translate, or advocate not only for your sister, but also for your parents?
Oh, absolutely, many times. And honestly, even today, it doesn't stop, right? The society doesn't accept it fully. And again, let me share some stories. At a very young age, my journey has been supporting my mom, carrying her bags for my sisters when she visited family or friends. And it's kind of emotional, but I think it's important to say she was very young. So if she would take my second sister, my sibling, along with her to friends and family's house, people would kind of hesitate and say, "Oh, make sure she doesn't do that. Make sure she doesn't do this. Make sure she's not sitting in the on the bed, or she would have an episode." And that kind of created, like my mom was always worried how my sister is going to navigate through it. So instead of enjoying that place or that moment, she was more worried on what my sister would do. And sometimes I would come in and say, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of her, and you do what you need to do." But I'm watching all of this, right? I'm watching all these scenarios. I saw her struggle firsthand. And instead of letting it break us, we created more moments of joy at home. Why do we need to put ourselves in those situations? Why can't we create happy times at home? So, as a result of which, whenever my parents said we are going out to visit XYZ person, we would say, no, 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 you guys go. We're going to have so much fun at home. So if you ask my siblings, our childhood memories are so precious. We had so much time at home where everybody was respected, everybody belonged, and we didn't have to face this over and over again. So these experiences taught me something powerful, like, sometimes you have you have to trust the process, and you have to leave the answers on time. Persistence matters than the doubts, right? So you create your own happy world where everybody is happy and nobody is doubting you. So that's what we created for my sister.
How do you navigate your own needs, emotions, and dreams when so much attention in the family had to be centered on your sister?
Oh, that's a tough one. Not every dream is fulfilled, but I love to dream. I think that keeps me going. That's a reality. As a child, I always wanted to be a doctor, and that was my first dream. I had to literally compromise due to the circumstances. So as I grew older, I created my own vision board. It always wanted to do something. I'm an entrepreneur. I look at the longer picture, but I must tell you that whatever I achieved, I have shared. I have learned that through my childhood as growing up, that your true joy and family is sharing with your family. Whatever you achieve, why don't you share it with your family? It kept me going because I had a purpose. And as a result of it, I realized that sharing the resources with your loved ones gave me joy. Today when I look back, I have no regrets. Coming back to the dreams got fulfilled. It took a very long time, and I am the greatest example of that turtle and hare story, if you remember. The turtle really has the destination that you need to go to, but as they reach there, we just need to keep our focus straight. If we know our destinations, we'll reach there. Um, we enjoy the journey. That's the whole moral of the story of the turtle and hare, right? There is no rush. You enjoy the journey. So for me, I always knew my priority. I knew that my sister needed me. That is a reality. She is special and she needs special attention. So throughout my journey, I would say she was part of me.
How has your relationship with your sister evolved over time, especially as you moved into adulthood?
Sisters are always sisters, Elizabeth. And I have two of them, so I'm very lucky with that. But with Rupali, who's my younger sibling, it's something deeper. There is a sense of fulfillment in our bond, at this stage of our life. Every time we meet, she radiates so much love, and that feels incredibly rewarding. Deep down, she knows that I'll always be there for her. And honestly, she feels that way about everyone in the family. She is very lucky to have all the loving siblings and great parents supporting her. Um, but people truly underestimate how much she understands. But she truly does. She radiates that feeling through her reactions, through her love. And she taught me one lesson that I didn't expect: how to be compassionate, how to stay humble, because when I look at her, I feel like she is trying so hard, fighting every battle she can to live her life on a daily basis, right? So Rupali reminds me of that every day. Whenever I have struggles in my life, I'm like, oh my God, this is nothing in front of what she does, right? So it's all about humility, it's all about kindness, and it's all about empathy that the human radiates with the other human. So our relationship has evolved. Of course, I'm the oldest of all of them, but today I feel like she's the boldest of all. So it's like that. And honestly, that's the beauty of the family, right? Sometimes people we think we are guiding them, actually starts guiding us. And that's the same truth with you, Elizabeth. Look, our relationship. You started to guide us and give me this platform for my sister to be her voice. So I thank you so much for that as well.
What helped you cope during times when the emotional or practical demands of caregiving felt overwhelming?
Um, I have to tell you this about who was my support at that point of time. So it's been like 40 plus years of journey. Back in those days, today actually I'm married to my husband, who is my childhood friend. He left to US back in 1989. And this is the era before internet, right? So we used to write letters. I think that support I got when I started writing letters to him. So I love journaling, because you need to express it out. It's not easy. You need to speak to somebody. You need to go to your comfort society and then, get some insights. Or if needed, take some help, professional help. That's acceptable. But in my case, my husband who was my friend, was truly like a rock support for me, and every time I felt like that, he was not there for me for 12 years throughout our journey, but I used to write letters to him, and I don't know whether he enjoyed reading those letters, but I loved writing it. I loved writing my story to him, and he was so humble. So he's been a rock in my life, and I feel like, if you are that person who's taking care of a sibling or a parent or any other relationship that you're in with, truly talking to another human really helps you creating that bond, and you need that understanding person. And today even I talk to my son, so journaling, talking to friends or talking to family, it really kind of gives me that energy that I needed. Like it's like oxygen you needed at that point of time, and then you come back again into action. It's not too much. Life is simple. It's we complicate in our minds, right? So I think we should be good. We should, if we talk to people and get the right advice at the right time, life becomes more easier for me. And for me, it was like childhood love.
How has growing up in this unique family dynamic shaped the way you show empathy, set boundaries, or care for others today?
Oh, this is an important question you asked because, uh, on a serious note, it's easy to lose yourself in this whole process when you are in a caregiving role. And I didn't know the importance of boundaries early on during my 10s and 20s because I just wanted to become a role model and give up every 200% of who I am on a daily basis. And then people start expecting that of you, right? Over time, I've realized that setting boundaries is, it's not you're setting boundaries, you're setting healthy boundaries. It's not being selfish. It's necessary to stay strong for the people who depend on you. That balance I learned like around my 25s, when my life evolved not only as a caretaker to my sister, but now I'm playing a role of a wife, soon to be a mother. So your environment changes, and then you need to understand that balance of compassion and self-care is something that you need to navigate to yourself as well before giving it out to every relationship, whether it's at home, whether it's a corporate world. It is important to set those boundaries. Set those boundaries even in the four walls where you all live together. You need your quiet moment, and I have been now very vocal about it, and I think it's very healthy because then that happiness radiates into other people, right? So that is amazing for me. So I think self boundaries is like, okay, yes, you need time. So that's what I have done for myself. And there are so many ways you can do it. You can do yoga, you can go for a walk, so many ways you can find energies for your own self. But please, please, everybody, take time for yourself. That is important.
What are some misconceptions people have about siblings of children with severe disabilities? And what do you wish more people understood?
So misconceptions and kind of a reality is, people may think that you don't have a life, that your life stops. So for my mother, I think when she had my sister, there was a voice that told her, "Oh my God, your life has stopped," and everybody thinks like that. But that's not true. That's not the reality. Of course, it's a challenging situation. Of course, you are faced with different scenarios. But why don't you create an environment and you ask for that support where everybody comes in, or you create that platform uh, where you can get those services. I mean, today we are in what modern world, right? We are in developed nations, so there is so much out there. Seek that advice, seek that support. I think that's the misconception. People are not aware of so many offerings that either our governments or our organizations or the society has to offer. I think people can take advantage and not create that misconception by listening to people, but also exploring and researching a little bit about me. On a second note, right, when you have an individual with some capabilities that restricts you, I feel like, that individual has a USP to share as well. And in my case, my sister emits so much love. And all of these kids, and with special needs or special circumstances, they have pure love. They don't understand materialistic thing. They are so happy with little things that you offer to them, right? The most important thing that I have seen with my sister, or I have come across various other individuals, is they need your love, they need your attention, and they need your time. They're not asking for anything else. And I don't think that it's too difficult to give that, right? That's very simple. So the misconception could be people are not aware, or people don't want to make an attempt to be aware of that situations. Think they are human. We are all human, and we can really learn from each other. So that's the misconception. I feel like there are so much we can do with all the latest technologies and the capabilities we have out in the world.
If you could speak to another sibling who feels the pressure of being the strong one or the helper, what wisdom would you offer them?
Oh, love it. First, I would say that you don't have to carry the weight of the world alone. Being the strong one doesn't mean you can't feel tired, frustrated, or even vulnerable. Strength isn't about never breaking, it's about finding ways for yourself to heal and moving forward. And one thing I've learned in this role as a helper or a caregiver is important, that this is not the caregiver is my identity. I have other roles that I've played, and I'm successful in those areas that I'm carrying the responsibility for. So give yourself that permission to set boundaries, to take care of your well-being, and really explore your own individuality in the world as well, right? While you're creating good platforms for your loved ones. So that's something that I would like to tell everybody.
Based on your lived experience, what are your top 3 to 5 tips for caregivers, especially siblings?
So especially families like mine, right? I would really highlight of things that we could not do it at that point of time, but I would encourage everybody to do it, and we are doing it right now. I would like to say, take more holidays together. Get out of that same routine, that same environment, and it helps us to think better, to give time to each other, to communicate. I think you create great memories. Celebrating small moments and achievements. It's when my sister's birthday, we love to celebrate, and she is so happy about it. She loves to blow the candles. That kind of creates that positive vibes. It makes her feel that it's her day today. So in today's time, people want to celebrate on their own, and then they post their pictures, but they don't remember that creating these small memories with everybody, it's such a great atmosphere that you're creating it, right? And then the lastly, I would say be vulnerable. Someone else, as I said, is writing your book, and you are just a character, and we don't know what to expect in the next chapter. So capitalize your day to day, spread the love, and bring everybody together. That's the best you can do. Creating memories is going to fill your book with so much colors.